In 1929, women numbering up to 20,000 across eastern region of Nigeria, which is now today southeast and south-south, carried out one of the mighty protests against the colonial in Nigeria during the colonial rule, which resulted in death of more than 300 women. Why was this protest staged by women? What triggered this protest against the colonial rule? Let's find out in this documentary of Aba and Ekot Abassi women protests. It all began in January 1, 1940, when the Governor General in charge of Nigeria, Frederick Lord Lugard, adopted a system of indirect rule. This system allowed traditional leaders and British appointed warrant chief to serve as representative of the Queen of England, rather than having British personnel all over. Within a few years, the appointed warrant chief became increasingly oppressive and power-drunk. They seized property, imposed draconian local regulation, and began imprisoning anyone who openly criticized them or opposed them. As if this oppression was not enough, another heavy tax was imposed on market women, forcing them to pay taxes on their livestock, children, and other personal properties they own. Meanwhile, the women of old eastern region of Nigeria were tax exempted in those days. To get their numbers right, the British organized a census, which the public figured out was related to the new tax policy. Market women became worried about the possible effect of the new tax rule on their businesses and how they would keep up with the numerous financial burden imposed by the warrant chiefs. They consulted the colonial government to preserve their tax exempted status, but their plea was rejected. Resolving to preserve their liberty, the women kicked against the policy, neither paying taxes nor welcoming any stranger to count their properties. On November 18, 1929, in the town of Oloko, the riot sparked when a warrant officer by the name of Emerewa was sent to conduct a census in the house of a woman named Nwayewa. However, during the counting, an argument between Emerewa, an officer, and Nwayewa, a widow, occurred, which resulted in an assault on Nwayewa. The news reached a gathering of market women in the town square as they discussed the crazy tax policy. Furious about this, they mobilized their colleagues from neighboring villages and went to the local warrant chief office to demand his resignation. The protest took on a more violent form in Aba division of Owerri province, and it was from there that the protest spread to part of Owerri, Ekot, Ekpen, and Abak division. In Owerinta, a warrant chief knocked down a pregnant woman during a scuffle, which led to the eventual termination of her pregnancy. This sparked another wave of resistance from the woman, who on December 9, 1929 protested against what they regarded as act of abomination. During the encounter, 2 women were killed and their leader was whisked off to Aba. On December 14, 1929, Owerinta women carried their protest to Aba, where it became bloody. It was recorded that 2 women were killed, and this sparked the riot from protester side as the women resorted to violence. The women in anger raided the nearby Barclay banks and prison to release their leader. They also destroyed the native court building, European factories, and other establishments. The women riot spread like wildfire to Ekot, Ekpen, and Abak division in Calabar, where the protest became more severe and brutal. On December 16, 1929, at Ekot Abassi in Calabar province, what began as a protest by the women reached its highest form of resistance and violence as women numbering up to 10,000 from different tribes of Ogoni, Ibiobio, Boni, Andoni, and Opobo gathered to kick against the colonial policy. It took another turn as the colonial master resorted to using force to scatter the protesters as usual. Over 200 women were killed by armed men. Meanwhile, many drowned in the Andoni River when trying to escape. One of the notable fighters during the Abia and Ekot Abassi women riot was Madam Udo Udoma, who fought the colonial arms gallantly and even collected a gun from one officer and broke it into 2. Although she died during the riot, but a statue was erected in her honor in Ekot Abassi. Notable memorial places can be found in Ekot Abassi today, which is in honor of gallant women who fell during the riot. As a result, the British administration dropped their plan to impose tax on the market women, and the position of women was improved as they could be appointed as chief warrants in some areas. There is a saying which goes, what a man can do, a woman can do 10 times better. What a man fails to do, a woman can do much more better. Like, share, and please follow for more documentary and history. Thanks.